All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Celebrity with Nene. Today I have Reese and Johnny with me. And so today, as it states in the title, we will be reviewing or giving our commentary on Love After Lockup, as well as we're going to answer the question, is Erika Jayne trying to fool us? All right, so let's start with Love After Lockup. Okay, so let's talk about the first couple I want to talk about is Deontay and Nicole, right? So Nicole is the one that's locked up. So the episode started out with Deontay going to the prison to pick up Nicole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was like right before he went there, he was working out, I guess trying to get his body right, I guess, before he went to go pick her up, which I thought that was hilarious too. Like it's too late to work on your body. And then he was standing outside the prison, I guess talking to himself. What was he doing? What would y'all say?
Was he the one who was pacing back and forth in front of the street? I kept
Mm-hmm.
thinking he was going to get hit by a car. I don't know why he didn't pull up to the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's about
I
he's
did
about keep it moving. I'm going to pick you up. Just keep it moving. Like you the one looking weird.
Yes, those are the moments you think about every time you see a scary movie and the truck
yeah.
comes out of nowhere and hits you. That's what I
Yeah,
thought happened in that scene.
yes, and I was feeling the same way when she finally came out and came across the street, and they were just standing there, I guess having their reunion. I guess that's what you would call it, or whatever. And I was like, why
Goodbye.
won't he put her in the car and they go somewhere? Why are they standing in front of the prison drinking wine and he's giving her $1,000?
I know she fanning us in front of the prison. I'm like, you gonna grab
Yes,
somebody and escape?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they
that
always
whole
do.
thing was just weird because it's almost like she didn't really want to get in the car anyway. It almost looked like she was waiting on another ride.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like she did
I
not look
definitely
interested.
no, she didn't at all. Like when they were hugging and stuff, I felt like it looked a little forced, like she was trying
Yeah.
to hug on him and be a little affectionate towards him. I was just
Right.
like, this is
She was
this.
like giving him enough to get what she needed, but you can tell he wants way more than just a hug and a kiss.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely tell that.
You don't show up with $1,000. All you want is a hug and a kiss.
Hmm.
Right. And she want to drink warm wine in front of the
Warm
prison.
wine in
Yeah.
front of the street
Yeah.
on the side road. I think
I
that
was
would
like,
be something I would have said. Are you trying to have me killed? Or why didn't you park up here?
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it
it's
said cars, like it said entry up here. There
Mm-hmm.
was
mhm.
parking spots over there. So it does make you wonder why he didn't pull up more towards the jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was wondering that. Yeah. It was weird. But I think he was also just being weird, period, that it just made everything else seem a little odd and off to me.
Yeah. He was
Because he
weird.
was, I'm trying to put my finger on what's so weird about him, but there's something that's kind of weird and seems a little off about him that I can't put my finger on quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some just don't seem right. Aside from him having a torso and washing that in his dishwasher with all the
With
rest of his dishes.
yes, with the rest of the dishes. I'm like, come on now. If you're gonna
Yeah,
be
it
that
was like
nasty, at
nasty.
least take the other dishes out. Like I'm like, he
Wow.
talking about some, yeah, keep it clean. They threw it in there all raggedy. And then,
Yeah,
like, dude, you got dishes in there? Are you serious?
right. Like that is nasty. I
Very
will
Everybody
gross.
drinking
never
out
at your
the
house.
sink.
Never. You
No.
can't offer me a glass of water.
Look, I don't even
Nothing.
want a plastic cup because I don't know what you be doing.
Yeah, because you just don't know what all he is doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was disgusting.
yeah. I couldn't with that. And I don't know. I don't know if I feel bad for him or I'm like, girl, take him for all he's worth. Do y'all
Mm-hmm.
kind of get the vibes that he's just gonna give her whatever she wants to try to
Yeah.
keep her
Oh,
around?
he's already told her. So you've already given her the go ahead to use you. So she's going to use
Basically.
him up.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not
Oh,
interested. You can
No,
even
she
tell
no.
that in the next clip when they do the
Mhm.
preview for next week. She's sitting there like, you can't get any till I get my boobs done. Okay.
hold on. Wait.
Yeah.
I bet you
She
could get
talking
those boobs
about
done.
man, no, when she talking about some I've been in jail for a year and something, you talking about having sex?
Yeah, I'm not ready for that
Write you
yet.
that $1,000
Like,
book.
no, this is the time when you first
Right.
get out.
You should be
You
ready.
should be
Why aren't
standing
you ready?
with him.
They didn't give me
Yeah,
the
I
$1,000
wouldn't be waiting
now.
no year and a half talking about, I'm not ready yet. I'm just going to wait. No, especially
Yeah,
if you've been talking. They've been talking for that long. He's been giving her money. So he said he spent like almost 40,000.
yeah,
I don't see what the stop is. Why are you stopping?
yeah, yeah. Because
Because she's
she's
not
just
interested. She's
wanting,
just
yeah,
recently.
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. She just wants what she can get out of him. I'm shocked she didn't run away when they were standing on the side of the road once she got the money in her hands.
I
And she
know.
could
You
have
think
easily
she's
ran away from it.
She could
Yeah,
have. Like I said, she was sitting there waiting on her rail ride to come by. She's like, "Where's he at?"
I
I guess I go with them. I guess I need a ride.
know. Yeah, because she certainly didn't look like she was ready to get in the car with him
No.
at all. Yeah, so let's talk about Courtney and Josh. So Courtney is the one, she was a lieutenant at a prison that Josh was in. And then she started a relationship with him and even put on wigs to try to disguise herself so she can go back to the prison to go visit him. Um, and so he got released on this episode. So I'm still confused, or maybe I missed something. Why was she dressed as the pickle or the cucumber, whatever? Did y'all catch why?
It was
No, I was.
some joke they had, I guess, and then she said something about she kind of a big deal, and I guess for the pickle, and it was in that first episode, but I can't remember exactly what the joke was. But I know it's some little inside thing they had that they thought
Oh,
was funny. But I'm like, I mean, y'all ain't think she looked crazy though the way she was laying on the ground like her pickle suit. It's like he had to
I.
come get her up like out the. I'm like,
Yeah, she was
when he
laying there like she
showed
was
up,
homeless or something.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
I
like, when
kind
he
of
showed up,
understand
like
if
he
she was
still over there.
hiding, but
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, that's
why?
not. That would not be the way I'd want my man to come home from jail, laid up in
I
a suit
No.
on the ground.
And if I'm gonna be goofy like that, then I'm not gonna be awkward goofy. I'm gonna jump out the car like, yeah, here I am in my pickle suit. I'm a big,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But she laying on the ground like she's scared, and I'm like, what?
yeah,
You gonna put
she
the
could
suit
have
on?
had on something sexy at least under the pickle suit, right?
Yeah,
Right.
right. And then it just was awkward. I'm like, really?
Yeah, yeah, but I
Yeah,
kind of
'cause
get that
she
she's,
couldn't pick him up because she's still on probation.
Yeah,
yeah,
So she couldn't even step grounds to go and see him.
true.
And then it's weird that they're quarantining in her house for
Yeah,
14 days, but he can't stay there
yeah,
after the quarantine. He has to leave.
yeah.
So I thought that was odd.
I mean,
yeah.
if they were going to commit crimes together, they could do it in that 14 days if that's the thing,
Right.
them apart to stop them
Yeah,
from
that
doing.
just seemed kind of odd. Like if he's not supposed to be with her, then he shouldn't be able to quarantine with her.
Yeah,
So I just thought that was kind of odd.
yeah. I
It
was
Yeah,
didn't
trying.
make sense.
I was trying to figure that out. Look,
Hmm.
we got to
yeah,
Google that. Like, what's the rules on this? Because I don't understand. I do not understand.
yeah,
Yeah, now you've put your whole self out there. So she violated parole. She's back in
Mm-hmm.
jail.
yeah.
So I guess he'll be waiting on her in a pickle suit.
I
I,
know.
I just hope he do his
That's
little
if he waits
interview.
on her,
If he does,
Uh,
yeah.
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 We don't
I
know.
Now
hope he
they
do his
aren't
little
married yet,
interview.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Those
They,
two aren't
I think
married
they
yet.
are married, aren't they
They
married?
Yeah.
are married. Okay, so
I
two of
think
them
they
are
are.
married. Okay.
Because
Yeah,
they did the wedding, and I think neither one of them were there for it.
yeah.
But
They did the proxy wedding.
yeah, the double proxy or something. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
So does
So
that still count as marriage? If you have two other people representing you?
I
yeah,
guess
because I guess since he was in prison, you're allowed to do a proxy wedding, a double proxy wedding.
Huh.
Because maybe where they were holding his ceremony, she couldn't be there or something. I don't know. Or maybe
Interesting.
she's on probation, she couldn't be in there. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. But then that's also scary if a marriage ceremony could be held like that. Because what if somebody else did the proxy for you? You
Yeah.
know, you could, Johnny, you could stand in my place, and
yeah,
be marrying somebody. So
Right.
yeah.
I wonder how that worked. Now you got me curious. Got to see how
Oh,
that works.
look, we all might be married and don't even know.
I know. Don't even
Yeah,
realize.
we could be.
Like,
You're
dang.
like, oh wow, I actually am married. I didn't know.
Right.
I hope
So my
I hope he
husband's out
cute.
there. Come say hi to me, so I know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Dude, help me with these bills.
I know, right?
I feel you.
Mhm.
Like, come on and provide like you're supposed to, honey. Don't stay
So,
hidden as a secret.
so what y'all think about like, okay, he coming home from prison and then like you want to be with your girl, but then you got all them animals too. I was like, that's a
Okay,
lot.
okay, those animals have taken over the house. Now,
She said
I
they
ain't got no
river.
problem with animals. I don't have no problems with them, but I think you should control them and have a amount that you can control. But those
Right.
dogs had taken over the house. You remember when she said, "Well, this is the dog's room," and then they go get in the bed, and all the dogs are on the bed.
Yeah.
So
I
I don't know. I just believe
yeah.
like if you don't have them on your bed, don't have all six of them on your bed. Maybe your favorite two get to get on the bed or whatever. But I was just like, what is this? Like you couldn't have put the animals away. You know he's coming home.
Right.
And then I'm not trying to shame anybody's house, but what did y'all think of the house?
Uh, she didn't look like she was ready for company.
No, I'm
Mm-mm.
thinking this is your man, the man that you wanted to be with so bad that you got arrested for. He comes
Right.
home and the house looks like whatever. Like I didn't understand that.
I
Yeah,
don't.
I would have definitely attempted to clean up a little bit more for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at that point, should you still be putting on your what is it? What do they call it? Your fake self or
Yeah.
your cleaner self before you like let them see the real
Yeah.
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 But
the
you know what?
real
Maybe
role.
that is the cleaner her. Maybe.
Oh
I
Lord.
I hope not. But
Yeah.
that was terrible. I was just like, you couldn't have got a hotel room for y'all. Why'd you bring him home to this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have been a little bit disappointed about him. But I mean, but then again, playing devil's advocate here. Maybe he was like, hey, this is still nicer than what I had. So
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
That's
because
true.
he definitely said the bed felt better than what he had before.
Yeah, that was a big bed.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe that's it. So do you guys think Courtney and Josh have a connection, a real connection going on?
It seems like it to me. They're out of all the four, they seem like the more legit couple to me. That's
Yeah.
Mm,
just my opinion. They just seem more like you could tell the nervousness was not so much that they didn't want to be with each other, but
yeah.
what was going to
Same.
happen after, like, or during.
Yeah.
It was a
Mm,
nervous excitement, of being with
yeah.
somebody for the first time. So to me, they seem the more legit couple. Like they seem like they're more into each other and more into being together for the long haul.
Absolutely. Definitely. All right. So let's talk about, and I'm laughing because I already got some thoughts in my head about this couple. So Brittany and her man, what's his name? Red? I don't know why
Ray.
his name
Ray.
is
Ray.
Ray. Ray, that's what it was. His name had just left my mind. So Brittany says she comes from, a family with money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I have to say, I just don't believe she comes from a family of money. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't. Now, um, maybe she comes from, I think Reese has said this, that maybe comes from a family where they're not necessarily hurting for anything, but I don't think that they are this high society family.
She likes
Right.
her life.
No. No, you could tell that by the birthday cake.
I did see that, and I was like, wait a minute. Okay,
High
now his
Wait,
society would not have that kind of cake.
wait, I missed that part. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and check out the
Oh
cake.
goodness.
I'm gonna have to go back and see the cake.
Yeah, that cake looked like it was bought
oh,
from
that
like Kroger
that
or
cake
something.
was a struggle cake. A
Yes,
struggle cake.
it was
I'm
pitiful.
like,
Yeah.
no, no, I'm not buying this. You
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
know, um, I feel like when she talks to Ray, she probably tries to lead off to Ray like, "Oh, I come from this family and we're good, we're good, we're good, we're good." And there was a young lady that was on last season, Chevelle, and it kind of seemed like she was just trying to buy her guy. And I have a feeling that's what's going to end up happening with this Brittany girl. Like she's going to be trying to throw that, oh, she's got money, she's got money. So then he's going to, of course, want to be with her, thinking that she'll be able to set him up nicely. Even if he likes her, still be like, okay, you know what? She can help me get back into society.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
know?
sad thing with her is she still just got out of an abusive relationship.
Hmm.
Doesn't really sound like she's given herself time to heal. And
Right.
therefore, she's jumped into this relationship with this man. And on this episode, they really didn't show too much interaction with them. So I
Hmm.
really can't say what his intentions are. But
Hmm.
we all know when you're vulnerable like that, you're
Yeah.
letting the predator in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's very easy for them to come in when they know that.
Mhm.
Um, and I believe her ex was an inmate too, right? Isn't that what they had said?
Yeah.
I don't know if they said he was an inmate. I know the mom was just talking about how horrible he was to her.
Yeah.
And
She
I
was.
don't they weren't surprised though that she was with an inmate. So they weren't like
Yeah.
completely surprised. They were just kind
Yeah.
of like, not a here we go again.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know. I can't say for sure
Yeah.
if
So I thought her
that were the
family.
case.
Yeah, I absolutely thought her family was gonna have a different reaction. But like you said, it wasn't. It didn't seem shocking to them. So I'm like,
Mhm.
is this a thing that you tend to just do, or you know, I I don't know
But
what do you think about that, Reese?
well, one thing that I kind of agree with her family, like when they were like, you know, she kind of like, hey, this is who I love. You gotta accept it. And they like, well, dude, we just found out. We don't. I really don't want to meet him. I just found
Yeah.
out 2 days, 2 minutes ago. You've been with this dude for 9 months. I'm like, the least she could have done was actually like told him maybe a month ago, 2 months, give him a chance to like be like, okay, this dude
Get
gonna get
used to
out of
that, yeah.
jail. Maybe we can talk him
Mhm.
Right.
out of this. Maybe we can't, but to throw it on him and be like, oh, and he's gonna get out and accept them, it's like, no. So I agree
Right.
with that part too. I'm
Yeah.
like, you
Yeah.
can't throw that on somebody like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Definitely. So I feel like there's a topic we didn't discuss with with these two. What about Britney's look?
Talking about that wig ain't melted. Talk about
So
how you
her
got a
wig
people,
to
regular
me,
people out here melting that lace and doing tutorials on YouTube, and you telling me you rich, but you can't even make your wig look real?
Right.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So her wig is the only thing that might make me feel like maybe she came from a little bit of money because, you know how like if a black girl has been hanging out in the suburbs with white girls, they
Mm.
kind of their hair is not really on point. So that's the only thing. But then at the same token, it's like, okay, but you're grown now and you are grown enough to know a little bit
Mm-hmm.
better or do a little bit better.
Well, I mean, if you come from money, you'd have it done anyway. Why
Yeah.
would you be
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be doing it.
True.
If I came from money and I wanted my hair to look like that, I would have definitely I'm gonna pay for that.
And
Yeah.
then,
Because you have the money to.
and you on TV. Like if
Yeah,
you come
I would.
you come from
Right.
money and you on TV, you want to look nice. And you
Exactly.
got the full face makeup, so why not have the hair done too?
Why not have the hair right?
She was kind of struggling with the makeup too, a little bit there.
Yeah.
So, yes. I like,
And, and then I don't know if I missed something, but her parents said she had 2 jobs.
yeah,
If you coming from money, why you out there working like you broke? 'Cause I'm sorry, if I
That's
got a lot of
true.
money, I'm not gonna work 2 jobs. No.
No,
No.
it's hard enough to work the one.
Yeah.
yeah. I guess
I
maybe she has to
have
work the
fun.
two to keep up her facade that she comes from this family of wealth or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting to see. What's this gonna really be about? Cause
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. And I want to see her house and how she's living.
mm,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Did they really say whose house they were at for her dad's birthday?
I
yeah,
think it was her parents' house, I
yeah.
Yeah,
think,
because
but
even that
I could,
kitchen shows they ain't coming from no money.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, did you notice they didn't really show? And I figure it could be for privacy too. But I'm kind of like at the give us like a little outline of how big that house was, because I was like, it looked like they pulled into a regular neighborhood.
Regular. It
Yeah,
was
like
that
it's
kitchen was super
nice,
small.
but not like no, like it ain't one of the ones where you driving through. Like, let's go look at the nice houses. That ain't the neighborhood. That ain't the street I'm gonna turn on.
yeah,
Like
Nah.
that's like your regular nice neighborhood, but it's not the ones that's like, ooh, look at
Wealthy.
that house. Woo.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
people living here are making that bank. No,
yeah,
not at all. Yeah,
Right.
you're like, dang, I want one of them. But like hers like that house where you like, these are nice houses. But
yeah,
not like, whoa. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. So let's
and
talk about, huh?
I still want to see this cake. I'm mad I missed the cake.
You are not missing anything. That cake was so pitiful. It didn't make any
My
sense.
cakes look better than that.
Yeah, and it and
Right.
what's sad about it is I feel like they bought that cake looking like that. I
It's my
think that's one of those layer cakes you get from Walmart. I
Hmm.
think. I
ah,
could be wrong, but it was terrible.
mm,
Terrible.
okay.
That was a last minute bought cake purchase.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just like, y'all could have done him better than that. All
Yeah.
right, so let's talk about Stan and Lisa. So
Oh.
Stan is that grandpa that's going with the younger girl.
And he has, oh, I'm sorry, finish up.
No, no, you're fine.
No, like he's got 2.3 million. You can't do better with that toupee. Come on.
That's
Come on.
I saw that too. I'm like, what is that? What is that? Like,
It looks like he
I
has a
couldn't figure
reverse
it out.
bob. Like you see the layers, but it's like it's like reverse.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
like,
like, dude, if you like, I don't doubt that he has that kind of money, but come on, I would definitely have done something better with my hair than that because that looks horrible. Or he could have dyed his sides because on his sides
Yeah,
it's white, and then
it's
you
like
got
he
this
just put a
big
cap
black
on,
thing.
like my cap here. Just put it on.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
There
no.
no
it's
blending.
like
There was no blending. Nothing.
yeah, it's like a brown toupee on the white, and I'm like, either choose a color, like either dye this brown or put a white one on. Like you ain't. It was two separate layers, like you said, two layers,
Yeah,
two different colors. I'm like that. Yeah, yeah.
I was not. He's got to do better. Come on, do
He did.
better.
he's better. I mean, even if he had put some streaks in there, I could have understood that a little bit better than
Maybe like sandy, peppery,
yeah,
match it
something.
up with your white sides. But
Mhm.
I was like, oh. And he actually isn't a bad looking guy. He just got to get that worked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the grandpa jackets was kind of throwing me off. Um,
Well, it seems
so
like this couple is the only couple that knew each other before she went to jail. So
mhm,
they had already kind of had a relationship. Then she got in trouble. And then, of
yeah,
course, said that her family comes from jail or like they're just a
criminals.
delinquents, criminals that, you know, he wishes she'd stay away from because she was already asking him for more money for her
Oh,
brother at the end.
how you gonna
Yeah,
get? I don't care how much money somebody got. You ain't gonna come and say, "Oh, it's only 30,000. Money come, money go." Like, what?
Yeah, like, yeah, because it ain't your money coming and
yeah,
going. And no. Like
Oh,
but he didn't say no, but he didn't say yes. And the way he kind of was like, all right, well, I'll talk to you next time.
yeah, yeah. He's
yeah,
like, you gonna
He
walk away.
didn't really seem like he's gonna do
yeah.
it.
It did
Or
seem
she
like he
could
wanted
do
to
it.
do it.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
find out next week, I guess.
yeah. And
But
so
I'm wondering if she's working out, because he said that she works out 2 hours a day.
mhm,
What is it that she's so scared of that he's going to be so disappointed in how she looks?
right. So
Because
I'm
I'm,
one. Yeah,
yeah, because when you even look at her beginning pictures, I mean, she looked like she had like a healthy shape. It's not like she
mhm,
was bone skinny. She kind of
Right.
looked thick, like healthy thick, So I'm like, does he like healthy thick? And she's lost it because she's worked out so much. Is she bigger than what she was when she went in, which means she's lying about the working out? Like I'm really intrigued to see what she looks like.
I
Yes.
am. And I'm almost wondering if, sometimes when women go to prison, they'll take on more of a masculine look. And I'm wondering if that's what she's done.
Mm.
Well, he
Um,
did say that she said she cut her hair or she got into a fight. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
they pulled her hair
She
out.
got into a fight and they pulled out her hair.
Mm.
yes.
So he
But
bought her those wigs, which I thought was pretty cool.
yeah.
You
Um,
know what? I thought that was pretty cool, but when the lady told him $1,300, did you kind of see how he was like? I was like, wait a minute, 1,300 should be nothing for you. Why did that shock you? Or
Girl, when people have when now he does now that's how you tell he can really have money because when they start spending that kind of money, it does bother them that they're spending that much money. You're thinking like, oh yeah, I've got the wigs, I can afford it. But he's thinking like, oh, do I really want to spend $1,300 on this?
yeah,
That's how they are. They're cheap. The real millionaires are cheap.
that's very true.
That's
Very, very
that's where we mess up. We got to start being cheap.
Look,
yeah.
he could have been cheap and went on Amazon or one of them little online stores, and he
hmm
probably could have got her cute little blonde lace front for like $300 each. That would have came out
Yeah,
about 900. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm like, you the one went to the boutique, so don't be
He
surprised.
went, but then the boutique was like in this weird house because when you actually started looking at the baseboards and stuff, I
Mhm.
was like, "What kind of house is that?" I'm like, where did you go to get that?
Yeah,
Because that did not look like a real.
no, it didn't.
It was
Yeah,
like,
Cause when she shut
okay,
the
you
door,
just
it
went
looked
over
like a whole
somebody's
different
random
house.
house and bought wigs.
Yeah,
right.
cause it
And
looked like he went to a
I,
whole.
oh,
When she
sorry.
shut the door, that looked like a house door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The part that had me dying was when she asked him, "So are you the sugar daddy or the boyfriend?" I said, "Oh no, oh my God, why'd you have to go
He
there?"
kept it
But
real
he
though. He
took
said,
that well. Yeah, he
Well,
took
I
it.
think that also determines what kind of hair she was going to show him.
"Oh, okay."
Because, I guess the idea with sugar daddies is they don't really necessarily always sleep with the girls. They just
Hmm.
want them to look a certain way.
I didn't
And
even think about that. That's a good point.
the boyfriends, of course, they're wanting something that stimulates, you know,
Mm,
their organs.
yeah. But look,
So I
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. You said
no,
something.
I was just saying I think that would be what the difference in, what kind of hair I'm gonna show you.
That's true. That is true. But one of the things too, I was like, ooh, I don't know where that brown wig came in, but
I know because he said he likes her blonde, and then he bought the
Right.
dark
you
wig, and I
like,
was like,
I'm like
okay,
this chick coming straight out of prison, like that might be like a get up, you know what I'm saying? A little quick pull, so you know what I'm saying? Do some more crimes, come back in prison, like, but no, that wasn't her because she got blonde hair. You know,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. He done made himself an accessory. He shouldn't did that.
Or maybe that's his wig that he's gonna put on top of his toupee.
He do have that brown
He
hair.
needed that one. Yeah,
He
he
gonna
needed
wear it as a mullet.
that, right.
No, he ain't gonna blend nothing. He just
Oh
gonna sit
goodness.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, um, so let's talk about when he was talking about his inheritance or the inheritance he. Okay, so I got a little confused at this part because he said he had never told Lisa about his inheritance, right? So it makes it sound like he got some money and then now he's gonna leave her and his daughters some money. Did y'all
Mhm.
catch that too, or was that
Yeah,
only
he's
that one?
leaving them $500,000 each. Is
Yeah.
what he has planned. So he's leaving them each $500,000. I guess he's trying to make sure it's known so that his daughters don't try and take the money from her or
Yeah.
fight her on it because they're not married. So it's not like she's entitled to it based on being
Right.
married. So yeah, he had mentioned I don't know necessarily that it was his inheritance because he said he earned his first million at 40. and he was
Yeah,
just like
but
a
he's
stock market
a
genius.
stock
But I
market.
think
Yeah.
he was meaning more along the lines of their inheritance if something happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. But yeah,
Uh,
he said she gets 500,000, and everyone else, his daughters, both get 500,000. What about the idea that he doesn't really want her meeting his daughters?
yeah, that's interesting that you don't. He says he's ready. He would marry her. He did say that. And so my thing is, if you are ready to marry her, why not let her meet your daughters?
I guess they gonna be mean, probably. Seem like.
Well, because
Well, he did say that.
yeah, like you know how that goes. It's that's your dad. You're trying to make sure he's not being taken advantage of, and
Hmm.
you can just kind of sense it when that they are that way. So, being that they were together before she went to prison, you don't really think that that's her motive, but she
Mhm.
does seem like she's more interested in meeting the family and being a part of his family. And how can you be a part of your family if you're not going to ever introduce her to the other side?
Right. Okay. So what do we think about them as a couple? Do we think Lisa is going to get out of jail and do right by Stan?
I I think too, because they were together before, probably. I guess I don't really, because she's only been in jail for like a few months, right? Like it was like 4 months or 6 months or something like
I'm not
that.
sure. I don't think it was years, but
Yeah, I think I don't know, without seeing what they were like before, they might be the next genuine couple. They might be, until I see what she looks like, because he seems like he's definitely all about the physical more than
yeah,
he is about who she is as a person.
right. Because it was crazy. He had said to her on the phone he didn't care what she looks like, but he went and bought her wigs.
Hmm.
So
And then when he walks up on her on the season, on the premiere next week, he kind of has this look like, who is that? So she definitely doesn't appear to look like what he's used to her looking like. So all of that, we'll see what that's about, because all he's worried about is making sure they can still do the thing when he gets out, because that's all he's talking about.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, you can definitely tell he definitely has that attraction for her.
And what did he
So
say? Something they do in the basement
yeah, she had said that she want to do that thing that they
that
did
they
in the
do in the basement. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
basement.
In the basement. There's some kinky that rare room of pain down there, huh?
I know. Does he have that toupee on?
Man.
Oh
I don't
goodness.
know, something going on in that basement. Maybe they got a pole down there,
They
and that
might.
They
toupee.
got some 50 shades of gray going on down there. They got a red broom.
Hmm.
Yeah, she didn't say the bedroom. She said the basement.
She said
Yeah.
the basement. They have, I don't know if y'all saw that red room on 50 Shades. That was a nice
Hmm.
room.
Hmm. Yeah. It wasn't that rare
So,
room of pain. Like, ooh.
yeah, that red room of pain.
But he got a whole basement. He like, I got him beat. I got a red basement of
He's
pain.
got it all up in there.
Okay, so the last couple that they showed last night, because y'all know there's two more couples coming that they haven't introduced us to yet.
I know.
Okay.
But the last couple was Michelle and Doug.
Oh. Mm.
Now this couple right here, you know, everything I'm saying is alleged or just my opinions, my thoughts. Doug is a little rough with her on the phone to a
Mm.
way that I kind of don't like it. Like, why are you being so rough with her? And if you're doing this on the phone, what would you be saying to her
In person.
person? Yeah.
Now she's the one who's taken on his son, right?
Right.
And
Right.
I hope they touch into that a little bit more. Do we know that the mom is passed away, or is
But
she out of the
it's,
picture for whatever reason? How in the world did she get custody
yeah.
of his son like that?
I think the mom is on drugs, is what was said. If I'm remembering right, it seems like they said something like that.
Yeah, because I was like, and you ain't even known this man for 4 months. I think they're the ones that's 4 months, or they've been married 4 months.
They've been married, yeah.
Is that what it was? They've been
And,
married 4 months, and she got custody of his son. And
mm-hmm.
she's saying, this is the life she's always wanted, them, having a kid and stuff. And her mom was very critical of her.
Yeah, because her last husband was in jail and he was crazy apparently.
Yeah,
And he,
because she's the one that's been married 3 times, right?
Is it 3?
I
I
don't
know for
I
sure
know.
one
think she's
other
been
one.
married 3 times, and at least 2 of them were convicts.
Oh
Mm,
wow. So this is just what she does. And
mm.
this
I
one
think,
was able to give her a
yeah,
kid. So it seems like she wants a kid, but maybe she
yeah,
can't have one naturally, and
Well, she
now
said
she's
she's
just
gonna
been able
try
to
to have
take
her own
on.
too.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of getting the vibe she likes rescuing and helping. She just has a caring heart in her. So that's probably what is attracting her to these convicts. Um, but yeah, I didn't care for the way that he was talking to her.
Oh, he
yeah,
did.
because
Um,
there's something about. I guess he has a schedule of when he talks to her, and
mhm.
and she's supposed to do certain things before he gets out, and she hasn't gotten those things ready yet, and he's supposed to be out in a couple days. So he's. I think it's that lack of control over, trusting someone to do what they're supposed to do when they leave.
Mm,
So
Right.
when when you're trusting, I'm trusting you to make sure I'm good when I get out. I don't want any problems when I get out. So do what you need to do to make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be, that
Mm,
you've gotten in touch with this person, you've done this, because I can't do it.
mhm.
And she still didn't do it afterwards. So obviously his bark doesn't bother her so much because she wasn't in a rush to do what he needed her to do.
yeah, yeah.
She
It
went
didn't
out
seem
and had
place like that. Yeah,
dinner. Hmm.
But
absolutely.
they've never hung out in real life, so I'm wondering, like, she might not be thinking that he's serious, but maybe he is crazy.
Now I would say they next week they have the best seeing each other moment,
Yeah.
because the way she runs to him, he picks her up, he hugs her. That just seems so like, okay, maybe they're a real couple too, because they definitely had some type of connection, chemistry that wasn't uncomfortable
No.
Mm,
with
He
them when they
told
showed the
her,
preview for next week.
yeah,
So
you see
yeah,
what she said for the preview? He's about to show up with a conservative outfit and,
and
no,
no underwear.
yeah.
no
I was
underwear.
like, ugh. So I'm like, so
Yeah. So
now
you
that
already know
that
what's going down in that
part,
car when they get in there.
now that part of it, I'm like, okay, that's her husband want to do a little freaky stuff, like what I'm saying, whatever. But it's just, I feel like he gotta at least. I get like you're like what you said about him just wanting things to be in order because maybe that's the thing he don't have control of it, and he's like, look, A, B, and C need to happen, but I'm like, cut the girl some slack. She taking care of your son, and she ain't got to do
Yeah.
that.
No, she
So
doesn't.
I'm like,
Yeah,
cut her some slack because she's picking up a whole life that what I'm saying, especially without him, that she didn't have to do.
Yeah. I just think it's funny that even when she apologized to him, she was like, whatever, and still went on about her business. So it's like, it don't phase me any.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
She was like,
yeah,
yeah, okay, I'm sorry. And then she's out eating dinner with her mom. It's not like she stopped everything she was doing to
yeah,
do what he needed her to do.
yeah,
yeah. So maybe that's her, way of, okay, he can talk like that, but I'm just not going to listen. Maybe that's what that is.
yeah.
All about, so I can understand that. All right, so our next topic, we're going to go into Erica, and somebody has already left us a comment.
Uh
Um,
oh.
I'll get it up here. All right, so um, I'm not sure if I'm going to say your name right, but you can correct me. Emriola, is that how I pronounce that?
Hmm.
She says, "I believe Erica girls," and then she also says, "Please keep it real."
Hmm.
All righty. Not for sure what she wants us to keep it real about, if it's just the Erica thing or what, but let us know. You can comment and let us know. So I was going to talk about Erika Jayne. So as we know, Erica, she has a lot of issues going on right now, um, including her husband. He has a lot going on, and he's been accused of doing some horrible things. For me, I feel like stealing from people is horrible. And then you stolen from people who you were hired to help.
Help.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So this week, some pictures came out of her at a gas station pumping her own gas, which, from what I'm hearing from a lot of different sources, that normally she wouldn't be pumping her gas, it would be her assistants doing it. And so she's pumping gas into this Range Rover, and her hair is
Kind of a
looking
mess.
not upkept the way she normally is. Normally Erica is glammed out. She had revealed one time on the housewives that she spends $20,000 a month on her glam squad. So my question is she trying to fool us into thinking that she's just like us or that she doesn't have the money and she's cutting back now? Now, I know on the show she had mentioned that she has downgraded from a Lamborghini to a Range Rover. I don't know. Is that really a downgrade? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
I mean, that's a downgrade, I guess. It ain't a downgrade for us regular folks, but that's a downgrade, as
Hmm.
far as a Lambo's definitely more expensive than a Range Rover, but if she's never photographed like that, it is kind of weird that all of a sudden you seeing it, unless she broke. But I don't know, because she still got the show, so
Yeah, she does still have the show. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's all for show. It's to keep up with the facade that she knew nothing, she's struggling. Please feel sorry for me because I have nothing to do with it.
Mm,
Um, I don't buy it at all. She,
Mm.
from what I remember her on the show, she definitely ran that household. It's not like he was very secretive with her, anything like that. She pretty much knew the things that were going on in the house. She knew a lot of stuff. So it would just boggle me that she just didn't know anything at all.
Mm.
yeah.
How much she knew, I don't know. You know,
Yeah. Or how much she knew. But for me, I feel like, okay, his cases weren't like they were secret cases that were sealed afterwards. So I'm pretty sure over dinner, sometimes he's like, hey, I'm working on this big Davis case, and she could easily find out how much the case was worth. And, if he won a $10 million judgment, then she should know, okay, so that's $4 million he's getting before taxes. So
hmm
can we really live like this if he only just won 4 million? Or it's easy to figure out how much you made if she just
yeah,
looked into it a little bit. And
yeah.
that would be
She
my thing.
definitely doesn't strike me as the type of damsel in distress.
Uh,
Especially on the show, she was not someone who just let people pull wool over her eyes or was very, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I did not. No, she wasn't like that at all. So it's kind of, it's no, I think it's all for show. I think
yeah,
it's to gain sympathy. And we'll see in the coming weeks how much more she starts presenting herself looking in that position or being in that way.
right, right. So I said I've been watching this case because I want to see how everything unfolds and what happens here.
Yeah, I can
And
see it. Well, I don't know 100% about it. So I guess I'll start paying more attention to it, or better yet, watch the Hulu series about her situation with him.
uh,
But it was something about that they faked a divorce and it wasn't really a divorce or something. And
well, that's what some people are speculating. It's just the timing of everything. Maybe she was unhappy in that marriage, and it just seems weird that now, that she filed when she did and stuff, and then all these charges and accusations being made against him. It does seem a little funny. Um,
Mm.
all I'm gonna say is, if she is in on it, it would make sense for her to go ahead and try to file now and try to distance
Mm.
herself from it. But if she's innocent and she hasn't done anything, it just looks suspicious. It
right.
just does. Yeah. So, what do you think, Reese?
Well, based off of what I saw when I watched that Hulu series,
Hmm.
um, it's just like one of those things where, like, if she's innocent, then you know what I mean. And I got it. They were saying she don't want to give some of the gifts back. She don't. She said her gifts and she's not giving them back. Maybe if those couple, what I'm saying, things that you really love, put those. But she has so much stuff that it's like, man, you can sell some of that stuff, get rid of some of that stuff, and help put that money back towards giving it back to those families. Because
Yeah.
regardless if it was your fault when he was doing or you knew anything about it, like I don't think I could live knowing, like, okay, these gifts were bought with money that was stolen from these people. So if you
Exactly.
didn't know, it's like, okay, maybe I got this one little, I don't know, necklace that I'm like, I can't let go of this, but I can let go of all of that. So you know what I'm saying? I could sympathize or even, see the human like ways in that, but I just can't see if you're a battered person or you're like, feeling like, oh my God, I didn't know he was like this and that. You can't part with some of that stuff. You know
Well,
what
like, doesn't it come back? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, my husband, millionaire, bought me gifts. I find out it was all a lie. He's been stealing. We don't have the money I thought we had, blah, 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 blah.
I mean?
I wouldn't even feel right keeping it. Like, is
Right.
that just like a moral clause you lose just because you got all this money and you have all this stuff? Like, at this point, you're just like, you know what? I don't care that he stole it. It's mine. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Right.
Who honestly to God feels that way? How
Right.
is it you don't feel some type of guilt? One, that you married a man who was like that, who was capable of stealing
Right.
from people like that. And two, that the stuff he bought you was with stolen money. Like, and
Yeah.
people who are suffering, people whose lives have changed forever,
Yeah.
or they've lost someone forever. How
Yeah.
is it you, honest to God, just feel like, oh, well, I don't care that it was bought with stolen money. I'm keeping it. Like,
Hmm.
who says that? Who
Yeah.
does that? And
Right.
that, to me, when you start building a defense for that kind of behavior, that to me indicates some type of guilt. Like,
Hmm.
you knew. But at some point you knew something wasn't right. You may not have known exactly what all it was, but that is like the extreme thing of selfishness that you could have, because guess what? When you start showing that kind of remorse or that kind of,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Yes, this $5 million tennis bracelet means the world to me, but that person lost that family lost kids, or they lost their husband who provided for them. I can't keep that from them.
Right.
Like, and then guess what? You give that away, you get something back.
Hmm.
You do it, the universe kind of starts balancing itself back out, because then it can show, you know what? She didn't know. Maybe that prenup protects her from any kind of abuse like that she would get some money. Maybe the government be like, you know what? Yes, your actions show you didn't really know. We've gotten proof you don't really know. We're releasing this money to you.
Hmm.
Right.
Like, I just don't see how, oh, that's a whole nother tangent. How this world has just become so self absorbed that you really, honest to God, can't think about what you've done and how it's affecting others.
Hmm.
Right. And then my thing is, I always want to ask people like Bernie Madoff, what if that was your mother? What if that was your sister? What if this was your child after you passed away from no fault of your own, from a plane crash? What if it was somebody you knew? Would you treat this a little bit differently? So that's my thing with it. Like, girl, no. And I know they have investigators watching the show and trying to record, write down what they have and stuff like that. Just to try to backtrack it and get it and sell it. For me, I'd be like, I am not taking anything out of this house that he paid for and bought as a gift. Because at
Right.
this point, I know you are innocent until proven guilty.
Hmm.
But there's enough evidence here to make you doubt some things.
Right. Yeah, like I said, at some point you would just be like, okay, so if we have 200 million in the bank, or however you keep your expenses, or not expenses, your money, like that. If he is accused of stealing 120 million, well, can I touch the 80? Can I get half of the 80? Like, something along those lines, to where you just stop touching the money that was stolen. I know that's a whole nother world we don't live in, but just the person I am, if I knew it was bought with malintent, you know.
Mm,
And sometimes that's how they keep their assets, is by buying a bunch of jewelry that's worth millions, so
yeah,
that it's not being tracked.
yeah,
So at some
yeah.
point I just be like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with that.
Right. And then they also say he gave her a $20 million loan. So that was probably him trying to hide some of that money.
Hmm.
You should
Yeah,
tell him
'cause,
what it is.
well, it depends on how. I know a little bit about that kind of stuff. Like it depends on how they track their assets and keep what the company's name is in. So of course, if her name's not tied to the business at all, you can put everything in her name. Kind of like, isn't that what like Mendices and Yandy kind of did when
I'm not
Mendices got in
sure.
trouble? Didn't he start transferring stuff into her name because
No,
they
I'm
couldn't
not.
touch
But
it because it wasn't in his name? I
they
think
might
that's kind
have.
of how it works. I could be wrong, but I think as a couple, you still have the right to have your own. So if your name isn't tied to the things that the government is seizing, then I don't think they can just come and seize your stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, not an expert on that.
Yeah, and that could be another reason for the divorce to try to protect her things.
Hmm.
I don't know,
Right.
but absolutely. But Embryoa, we appreciate your comment,
Thank
and
you.
thank you for interacting with us. Absolutely. Okay. So, do we have any other comments or anything about love after life, love after lockup, or the whole Erika Jayne situation going on right now, and those pictures that have popped up online of her? Mm. All right. Well, make sure you guys. I guess we'll wrap it up here, and guys, make sure you keep checking on us. We'll be putting up more videos. We'll also be covering love after lockup. Um, I was going to tell you guys, I did catch a new show. It's called You, Me, and My Ex. Very interesting. It's it's on TLC. Yes, and the premise of that is it's all the people they showed last night. It was a guy, he's dating or married to someone new, and he's living in the house, or his ex is living in the house with them. So yeah, yeah. He
I
said, "Ooh,
haven't had wonderful experiences with my ex.
no,
So
I
I can't even imagine trying to have that kind of wonderful relationship like that.
right, right." No,
I'll have to check that out myself just to see how in the world do they make it happen.
yeah, so maybe we may cover that. If that's something you're interested in, leave us a comment, let us know. All righty, well, we're gonna peace out. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.